Have you ever wondered how to build your own MOC? Well, in this video, I'm going to be showing you the techniques behind it. So let's go ahead and get into it. Planning is pretty easy. Sometimes I don't even plan, I just start building a MOC. But you can just sketch it out, or you can go all out and do a full color drawing like this guy. But like I said, every builder's different. Some people just like to go with their idea, and some people like to plan it out real thorough. It doesn't matter which one you are, it just matters that the build turns out good. Each build is going to have a unique foundation. You can either go with freeform, or you can go with a more simple look with a diorama with a black border. And for me, this MOC that I'm going to be doing as an example, I'm just going to go with a black border with a complicated arrangement of pieces forming a little patio area. Each builder has a unique way of building their bases, either doing a simple look with a diorama or going with a more complicated freeform, which is just rock work and snot bricks. And it doesn't matter which one you choose, it's actually more fun to try both ways and see which one you like better. For me, I do both, but I'm leaning more towards dioramas because you can get a lot more detail into the top part of the section than just the path, and it's just way easier to build. If you want more information about styles and techniques about freeform and dioramas, make sure to go check out my tutorial that I did a while back. I'll link that down in the description below. So now let's finish the base with an assortment of bricks for support and some plates so we can lay down the rest of the terrain. And now that the base is done, we can go ahead and move on to building the terrain. Terrain is one of the things that builders underestimate when they start on their MOC. And when they come to actually building the terrain, they throw around pieces and it looks really sloppy. So let's see how we can fix that. One way to fix your terrain is to make it look realistic, so have dirt and stuff going and overlapping the concrete, because this is going to give a realistic feel to the environment. You should also stay away from straight lines, so when you're making terrain, depending on what you're doing, if you're doing dirt and sand, those you need to make sure that it doesn't look messy, but it looks realistic, which usually means a lot of little pieces, some studs showing, maybe some slopes, but make sure to stay away from a lot of straight lines. When you're making dirt or sand, make sure your ground is not just one color. If you're doing just sand, maybe just use tan, that makes sense. But if you're doing a wild landscape, you can use maybe dark green, olive green, dark tan, medium nougat, dark orange, all those different colors, and mix them together with different combinations to get a really realistic feel for the environment. Also, another way to make unique terrain is to mix it up with maybe adding a rock path or something of that sort. Now that we know how to make interesting and unique terrain, I can go ahead and finish up the ground detailing on this build. You may notice that I under-detailed one side of the build, and that is because I will be adding something that is crucial for terrain. And that is plants, which is something that you see on a ton of builds, and if you have leftover space that you don't know what to do with, add plants. For me, I'm not going to overdo it on this build because this is supposed to be a sandy desert sort of build, so I just added a few dead-looking plants. But if you want to add any plants in the open space, definitely do it because it adds a little bit more extra detail to your build. So to the example MOC, I will not be adding any structures or builds, but I can quickly run through several techniques that can help yours out. As we can see in this example build, you don't have to actually include an entire building because it's just from the perspective of your build. So you can add just a wall, but make sure it's interesting and has something unique about it. And a few unique details you can add to those buildings or walls is some nice piping in your structure, or maybe a crate or two, just to add a little bit more extra detail. So I'm just going to quickly touch up on the subject of minifigure positioning. So as you can see, this minifigure is really stiff, so let's go ahead and repose him a little. That's better. Now that we've reposed him, he looks way more lifelike and adds to the MOC instead of taking away from it. And if you would prefer not just having a minifigure on your build, you can go ahead and actually build up a vehicle. And I went ahead and built up an AT-RT and placed it on my build. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped you out. And if you wouldn't mind, hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.